Good morning everybody, welcome to Stockradar Stocks on the Move for another week. Today's date is the 30th of May 2024. My name is Richard Lee and I manage the stockradar.com.au website for you. Okay, well, Energised stocks. Well, it's some Energised stocks and there's some not so Energised stocks. Our starting point is to filter our stocks into trending stocks and non-trending stocks, and this gives us a current stock pick count of 41 stocks out of the 150 stocks covered. That's not a lot. We then rate each stock as to its trending attributes using our trend intensity rating, and from there we further narrow down our targets using other filters such as market cap, sector limits, things like that. The idea is to keep this process as simple and as streamlined as possible to make your life a whole lot easier. Okay, so that's what I'm all about. As I said before, we have Energised stocks and non-Energised stocks. I focus on the Energised stocks at the moment, of which there are only 41 of 156. So it narrows down the group pretty quickly and makes it a lot easier for us to make good assessments of which stocks we're going to select. Okay, so the positives this week really are the Nasdaq making the all-time highs. We're having a little bit of a wander downwards as the Dow is, but the Nasdaq is very strong. And there's a couple of stocks here like WiseTech and a couple of other ones that are doing okay. Not a huge sector for us, unfortunately. And the other one is the strength in commodities, which has been sort of keeping the market going around. So we'll keep an eye, have a look at all that. But first, we're going to get straight into the top 10. And again, sort of a mixed group. Again, our Energised stocks, these are the ones that are going up. These are the ones we focus on. Magellan has been there for a long time. Origin's making new highs. Orica's doing well. QUB's a new entry. Technology One's bumped last week, as did Webjet. And there's WiseTech, ALS Services, PEXA and Sandfire Resources. So that's a little mixed group for you, and you can see Technology One there had a great bump up last week, so we are in that one, and so we hope that will continue on high. It looks like it's going to want to resume that overall uptrend, and we're trying to get that spurt higher rather than sitting in the sideways market. So that's the top 10, and our stock pick count at the moment is down 3. Again, we're whittling them off slowly. We're down to 60 this week of 180, which is the whole group including ETFs. Just on a stock basis, it is 41 from 156. Again, not a lot there, so we can just focus on those 41 stocks rather than the 156 that aren't trending, which makes our life, as I say, a whole lot easier. Okay, so let's get to the overseas markets now, and we know the Dow has been struggling a bit. It's the narrow breed, but it's come off there. The selling hasn't been huge at this stage. It's just a big buying there. It's a double top sort of thing, a mini double top. So we'll probably see this S1 tested, and then we make an assessment there. The moving average is there, goes below there. Then you might see a bit more lower. If not, we might see a bounce up there, and the merry-go-round continues on. But for the moment, the overall market is in an uptrend. So you can see the S&P is also similar. It's come back a bit, not too much, but it's making new highs, and the volume's been very, very good, so no doubt there. So the Dow is a little bit of a standout, a little bit of an odd man out at the moment for this. And the Nasdaq, he just keeps making new highs. Been very strong volume there, no problem there, and our stocks are going the same way. So that's not a difficult one to assess there. Our market, again, we're rotating a bit because we've got the Nasdaq pull, we've got the commodity pull, we've got a weaker industrial sector in a lot of areas. So some of our leaders have been coming off, like the Telstras and things like that. So it's been weighing on our market quite a bit. And things like Rio, which has been an opportunity I've been looking for, has not yet broken out, so we still haven't got that actual real push in the commodities there, but some of the smaller ones like Sandfire are doing quite well. But our market really has been rotating in a trading range for a couple of months now. Okay, so that's the ASX 200. Overall, still in an uptrend. I'm going to go back to that thing later on in my trading tactics, a bit about what we do when we're not so sure. But for the moment, that is in an uptrend at this stage. Okay, commodities. Gold. It's strong, holding on well to its gains, no problem there. All looking fine. Had a bout of selling last week, big bout of selling, which stalled the price, but it's back up again. So it looks okay to me at this stage. No reason to think it's not going to keep going up. Same with copper. It is at a resistance level, which we've got to respect at the highs there. It did have a thump down and some reasonable volume there, but the jury's not out yet on this one there. It's been a very, very sharp, powerful move up, and the price correction may occur. I don't know, but for the moment, we've got a bit of excitement around that market, which is quite good, and things like Sandfire are doing pretty well on the back of that. Okay, Brent crude again, we really haven't got much to add again this week, still not doing anything, just going sideways there. So that's So that's the overseas markets for the moment. Now it's going to go to our stocks at this stage. Fisher and Paykel, which is one we've been following a bit. Again, it had a bit of a bump up this week. It's it's still holding there. There's nothing really to worry about, so we just hold our position, keep our stop where it is. I think it's you have to see on Stockradar exactly where it is, but keep your stop in place, and we just be patient with this one. Trend intensity rating is +8. It still looks okay. Since the new high it's made above this, we know how important this level is here. The trend, we still got this high low here, now making into a high. That's a sort of a trend developing. That's why we've sort of jumped on board that. And we've got all these supporting indicators of volume and the moving average. So that's an odds-on bet. Fine, no guarantees, but more likely than not, it's probably going to continue higher. Okay, so that's Fisher and Paykel for the moment. Origin Energy. It's like a hot potato, this one, because everyone seems to be interested in it for lots of reasons, whether it's power stations closing down and or opportunities from other investors. But whatever's happening here, if we go back and I'll just squeeze this right back up again, we can see right back up here, this big area here we're at now is a big resistance level. This goes back a long time. So we're breaking above this level at the moment, and it's quite a positive sign it's doing that. So we're getting through this level here, we're moving higher. Remember, what we're trying to do is capture the move within a trending phase. So we are within a trending phase at the moment. We've just taken a new high here in this situation. It's now made a new high above this big resistance level here. The trend intensity rating is +10. So it's looking pretty good at the moment. The volume's reasonably positive. Had a couple of big days here which squeezed it down, and nothing to think there's any selling going on here as the price continues to rise. Momentum is strong. It's above the average, and it's making inroads into resistance levels, which is great. So. Origin Energy is looking very interesting to me, and it's one of those stocks we call the Energised stocks at the moment, and it happens to be in the energy sector. And the next one I'm going to look at is also in the energy sector, and this is the sector's full of nuclear, gas, coal, oil. So it's an amazing sector. I actually review it this month in the newsletter. Because it is quite good, and actually review all the stocks we cover, because these coal stocks just don't go away. And Yancoal here, it's been in a trading range for a couple of years. It's now starting to get a bit of demand here. We're getting some high lows starting to appear and some high highs, which means a trend is developing. They've got pretty good volume support in this move. Momentum is also positive. It's sitting nicely above the average. So all the ingredients that are right that defines our trending attributes that we look for in the trend intensity rating. So at the moment the rating is +1, which is reasonable. If it does kick above here, we're going to get a significantly higher rating, because that will reverse the trend and makes a key difference to the trend intensity rating. So Yancoal's an interesting one to watch for you. The highs are up around here. It's a good trading range there. A breakout would be quite a positive sign there, and there's a little bit of yield to boot there in Yancoal as well, which is a nice little bonus when we can get it. Okay, the other one, I did go through AGL last week. I just want to go through it again, really just explaining a little bit about why I'm not in it at the moment, because really what we've seen here, we've seen this downward move, we've seen this upward thrust, but there's been no trend reversal pattern or new high for me to go on. You could call a slight little trend reversal pattern down here, but it's so minor, there's not enough volume, it's not above the average, it would never get a trend intensity confirmation. So that's why we're not in this at the moment, but it is an interesting stock, and the interesting thing is that we are seeing some constructive signs. So we always wait for this evidence to build and the opportunities to come by, so that when we do hit it, we know that the odds are in our favour. So we can see buying starting to appear, pushing the price up. At some stage this will come back and probably have a trend reversal. We don't know, it may make a new high above here, in which case we'll buy it there. But in the long scheme of things, remember this stock has come from a long way higher, up around $30. So there's plenty of upside in this stock. We're only at $10 at the moment. And it's looking quite interesting to me. So we just have to be a bit patient on this one. I know we always love to be in stocks that are rising, but we can't take them all. There are always other opportunities, and there are plenty amongst those 41 stock picks that we've got at the moment. But AGL, certainly things have been changing there, and the opportunities are coming. Again, with this sort of bottoming pattern, you can get differences of opinion that occur, which cause moves down, like we've just seen, from $12 down to $8. But in the general scheme of things, we are getting a turn in the price, and we're starting to get these lows and the bottom here, which is a really good sign. So I think AGL is a very interesting situation. If we do get a buy signal, we'll be looking to jump right on it, I would think. Okay, the other one here is Lottery Corporation again. Now this is a reasonably new listing. What do we know about new listings? They usually go one way or the other to start off with. Then they usually enter a trading range where the market tries to understand the business, the opportunities. Is it living up to its perspective, to its prospects? To its to the original idea that it was set for? Is it doing all the right things? So are all the financial measures right? So with Lottery Corporation, we've got this trading range from about 5.30 down to about 4.40. Okay, so it's about a $1 trading range. It's traded within there a few times. It hasn't broken out. The interesting thing is, I think at the highs here, you can see clearly there's a big resistance level through here. And at the moment, we're failing again at the moment. We may well be down again today. But really, it just reinforces that this level is a key level for it to get through. If it doesn't get through, we don't play. If it does get through, we're very interested because that's a significant change in the price behaviour. So we just wait for these things to happen. So that's really all I'm trying to assess at any time where the opportunities are that's going to cause a change in buyer-seller behaviour. And I think above this level here, about 5.30, it probably would for the Lottery Corporation. So volume patterns are pretty middling, which you'd expect. Momentum's just positive, but a bit sluggish. We're right on the average, so the tendency rating is -1. But it is prepared and ready to kick into positive territory if it does move above the 535 level. For the Lottery Corp, it certainly has been resilient of late and keeps trying it, but just can't quite seem to get through. Anyway, so that's the Lottery Corporation. Okay, the other two stocks I want to go through are just two stocks. One's really just starting its trend, which is Orica, which has had a nice little breakout here. Back in March on good volume, good momentum, and it jumped higher. We've been waiting for this for a while because all these stocks that are bottoming take a long time sometimes to actually do it, and they often have false starts and come back. But we try to make as a good assessment as we can, and here we've got a very big trend reversal that has occurred over a couple of years there. It's now broken out with all those things: volume, moving average, momentum, and it's broken that price resistance, which is extra important. So, and that's why we're seeing a market imbalance. We're seeing more buyers and sellers push the price higher, and that's what we want to see. Okay, so we're looking for a trend phase to begin here in Orica. It may or may not, but we'll certainly play it as if it is for the moment until we're told any different. And the other one is one that's probably longer in the tooth, this trend. This is 7 Group. It's really had a great run since it broke above, around 24.35 a long time ago. It's been up to 42. It's around about 38, 39 at the moment. And it certainly has slowed, okay? So the trend has certainly slowed here, but it hasn't broken down, okay? So all markets correct. Some are short, some are long corrections. We don't give away unless we're really told to get out. So at this stage here, we're still above the stop at the moment. It is slowing down, that's for sure. And a bit of volume here, which is actually the volume patterns are looking pretty good because there's not a lot of selling occurring down here. Momentum certainly has slowed, which we're aware of, but it's above the average. Trend intensity is still +7, so we still hold this, and it is still above the stop. So for the moment, we hold 7 Group, and it may well have another leg higher. We don't know yet, but for the moment, as a stop is in place, we hang on to that. Okay, so that's 7 Group holding. So there's a couple of stocks for you today. Just have a look through. There's plenty of, although the market's going to probably have another little dive today, and there's plenty of great stocks out there and with some great opportunities. So don't worry too much about what the market's doing. Just try and focus on the stocks that we look at. Okay. Now, just briefly to finish off, I talked a little bit about, we have these corrections and we're sort of wondering what we're going to do. We look at the Dow, we look at the ASX 200. What we should really do is look at our stock and look at the stock price and look where our stop is. And that's the way we're going to do it. So what we're going to try and do most of the time is come back to the basics. So if you're starting to get a bit anxious, confused or uncertain, go back to the basics of what you were trying to do, okay? So in some instances, there are a few basic rules you have which you look at, and there might be one here which I look at all the time, this is a trend filter, a series of high highs and high lows, and this is quite clear. And it looks a bit like 7 actually. It's come off and it's had a little bit of a correction of late, but the trend is intact. It's in a series of high highs and high lows, so its prevailing trend is up. So just a few simple basic things like that can certainly cut through a lot of worry or a lot of doubt or a lot of uncertainty. So try and keep your mind as clear as you can and as happy as you can as well. Okay, so now what's happening at Stockradar? Firstly, the newsletter will be out later on this week. In the macro view, we are trying to understand what and why we do it. Okay, what we're doing and what are we trying to do, okay? In the micro view, I look at all the energy stocks. I cover them all, so not just Yancoal and Origin, but all the other ones, Woodside, Whitehaven, New Hope, all those other ones there as well. In Radar's round, I go through some processes. Why do we need these processes and what the benefit of them is? And our stock of the month and our stock and alert will be there. And we've also got our tables for looking for opportunities, things like that. So that's all the news that'll come out later on this week. Also, you can subscribe to the free blog. Plenty of stuff there. Take a free trial to have a look at what we do, and maybe remember to check out the Trading Centre, our major page, which we monitor all our stocks with entries, exits, stops, alerts, reversals, levels, everything there is for you in the Trading Centre. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. I hope you had a good week. Remember to keep it simple, and in tricky times, remind yourself of what your original premise is and what you're trying to achieve, and then respond to that, not necessarily what you think, but what you should do, which you've got written down in your trade plan. Okay, so watch your trends, heed your stops, stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks very much.